Hey, hello, welcome to Ashok Consulting Services YouTube channel. So in last class, we have discussed about currency types, right? So in that, we have seen that what is the difference between ECC and S4HANA. Especially in S4HANA, we have two types of currency types. One is like predefined currencies and user-defined currencies. In ECC, we don't have user-defined currencies, only we have predefined currencies. As in S4HANA, we have user-defined currencies, which will be used for management reporting purpose. Okay, so if you have still any doubts regarding currency types topic, please go ahead and watch my recent video which I have been uploaded for currency type topic. Okay, right now we are going to discuss about ledger types. Okay, as part of new GL accounting functionality, we have currency types and ledger types, and also parallel ledger, document splitting. These are the uh, options which we have available in new GL concept. So let us discuss first what is ledger types. Okay, so in ECC we have two types of ledgers. In ECC we have two types of ledgers. One is leading ledger, another one is non-leading ledger. Okay, and as for HANA we have two ledgers. Okay, first we'll discuss about ECC. Okay, so in ECC we have two ledgers, right? So leading ledger and non-leading ledger. Okay, so leading ledger is nothing but specific ledger. That is nothing but when by default it will be created by the SAP. Okay, and which will be assigned to all the company codes. So we are not going to create this leading ledger. So first I'll try to discuss what is ledger types theoretically, and next class I'm going to create leading and non-leading ledgers and how we are going to create an S4 HANA directly, and I'm going to show uh, one more new topic also. First, in theoretical way, we'll try to understand. Okay, leading and non-leading. Leading ledger is nothing but the ledger which will be created by default in SAP by the SAP, and which will be assigned for all the company codes. Okay, and this will be integrated with all the submodules also. And non-leading ledger will be created by the consultants and which will be assigned to all the company codes according to the requirement wise. So this will be as used for the internal and external reporting purpose, and this also for used for external and internal purpose. Okay, so when we post any transaction by using a leading ledger, all the data will be posted to leading and non-leading both the ledgers. Okay, whereas in S4HANA we have two ledgers. Here also we have leading and non-leading ledger, but terminology was different here. So in ECC we can call directly it is a leading or non-leading, but in S4HANA we have to call it's standard ledger. So standard ledger again classifies into two ledgers, and here second type of ledger is nothing but extension ledger. So standard ledger and second one is extension ledger. First we'll just try to discuss about what is standard ledger here. Standard ledger classifies into two categories. So one is leading, another one is non-leading ledger. So leading ledger, as I discussed, leading ledger indicates with 0L. Leading ledger indicates with 0L, and this leading ledger will be created automatically by the SAP. SAP provides leading ledger automatically. So as and when we create company codes in our SAP system, by default, those company codes will be assigned to the leading ledger. That means by default, leading ledger will be assigned to all the company codes in SAP. And that means this leading ledger will be assigned automatically to the company codes. And whatever postings that we do, those will be updated in the leading ledger automatically. Okay, then comes to non-leading ledger. Non-leading ledger will not be created automatically. We have to create according to the requirement. Okay, so we are going to create this non-leading ledger, which will be used for client requirement purpose, and also this will be used for internal reporting purpose also. This purely for reporting point of view. This only for our external purpose. Okay. Any client requirement purpose or any external reporting purposes, we are going to use this non-leading ledger. And once we create this non-leading ledger, we are going to activate this non-leading ledger at company code level. For which company codes we want to use this non-leading ledger. So that respective company codes, we are going to activate this non-leading ledger. And whatever ledger we are creating other than this leading ledger, those ledger will called as non-leading ledger. So here I have given the list of information here. So you just go through this, you can able to understand. Okay, leading ledger called as main ledger, which is integrated with all the sub ledgers. That means leading ledger by default, it will be assigned to all company codes, and it will be integrated with all the sub modules like GL, APAR, bank accounting or asset accounting also. Leading ledger represents the books of accounts. That means whatever data that we post, by default, it will be posted to the books of accounts, all the ledgers. There is only one leading ledger for our client. This is termed as 0L by SAP. Therefore, 0L is the default ledger. All company codes within a client are by default linked to the leading ledger automatically. That I told you, right? So, whatever company codes we create, those company codes will automatically link to leading ledger. Okay. Entries in the leading ledger table are differentiated by the company code. This ensures segregation of the company code data. And now if you see integration of leading ledger with controlling and logistics. Okay. Leading ledger fully integrated with logistics controlling modules, and also leading ledger adopts the fiscal year variant and posting period variant from the company code. First point means like leading ledger will automatically integrate with all the logistics. Logistics and means submodules like MMSD. Those modules will belongs to logistics, and controlling modules, which is nothing but controlling point of view for internal reporting purpose. So this will be used for external reporting, and this will be used for internal reporting purpose. And leading ledger adopts the fiscal year variant and posting period variant from the company code. It means when we create the non-leading ledger, we are going to activate that non-leading ledger against the company code level only. So when we activate, we are going to maintain what is the fiscal year we need to follow for this requirement purpose, and what is the posting period we need to follow for requirement purpose. So when we post the transactions, system is going to check here what is the fiscal year and posting period and the company code. Based on that, it will be posted to the particular fiscal year and posting period and company code level. Now, currency that can be accommodated in the leading ledger. This you can see actually, and in ECC and S/4HANA functionality is same. Okay. So first and second third currency. So first currency is nothing but company code currency. Second currency is nothing but group currency. Third currency is nothing but any reporting can be used. That is nothing but hard currency, you can say. Okay. So in S/4HANA, we can use up to 10 currency type. This I have covered in currency type discussion class, currency class. So you can go through this currency types class once to understand how many currency types we have, how many currency types we can use parallelly. Okay. Now we are going to discuss about non-leading ledger. Okay. Non-leading ledger will be used for parallel ledger accounting purpose. So we'll just try to understand what is parallel ledger. Okay. Let's quickly take one small example here. So parallel ledger will be used to update the balances parallelly in requirement purpose, reporting purpose. That means, for example, I have company in India, same company I have started in US also. Okay. Originally, the postings are happening in our purchases, our sailings, and everything, and transactions are posting in India country only. Okay. Since I have started new company in our branch in US, so I want to run, if I want to run this branch in US, I need to submit balance sheets and financial statements in US also according to their legal requirement purpose. Okay. So in the same way, how we are going to submit our books of accounts or legal requirement purpose in India, in the same way, I'm going to submit in US also. So since I am not doing any transactions in US, but I am doing transactions in India. So how I want to submit the books of accounts for legal requirement purpose. So for that purpose, this parallel ledger accounting is introduced in SAP. For example, in India, I am using leading ledger, leading ledger. Okay, for postings purpose, for postings purpose. Okay, purpose. Okay. Whereas in US, okay, whereas in US, this postings, whatever data we have, for example, I'm posting salaries account, salaries, debit, bank, credit. So I just posted this entry in India. I want to update this expense US also. How it is going to update? So for that we are going to use parallel ledger accounting concept. So for this to update this data parallelly in US currency, US country, we have to create non-leading ledger. So here I have to follow non-leading ledger. Okay. And when we create this non-leading ledger, we are going to activate this non-leading ledger at company code level. So once we activated this non-leading ledger at company code level, whatever data we post in the company code level, those data will automatically copy pasted here. So for that, we need to do certain configuration. In the next class, I'm going to cover what is the configuration required for parallel ledger accounting. Okay. So now, so non-leading ledger will be used for parallel ledger accounting purpose, which will be used to update the balances or copy the data parallelly according to the legal requirement purpose. Okay. Parallel ledgers are always managed as complete ledger because all portions relevant to specific valuations are just like this one. Okay. And parallel ledger are supported fully general and fixed asset accounting. Okay. Now here are given what is the features of non-leading ledgers also. You just go through this one. If you have any doubts, you can let me know. I'll be there to help you. I'm just there to clarify your doubts. Okay. So non-leading ledgers are ledgers created addition to the leading ledger. So other than the leading ledger, whatever ledger we are going to create, those will called as non-leading ledger. Therefore, non-leading ledgers that are parallel to the leading ledger. Non-leading ledgers may be used for both external and internal reporting purpose. So external purposes, logistics, internal is for controlling point of view. Okay. Then number of non-leading ledgers may be maintained per client level. Okay. Non-leading ledger are not integrated with logistics and controlling module. Okay. And currency types that can be accommodated in non-leading ledger level. And there is one more type called extension ledger. Okay. So in S4HANA, we have two types, right? Standard ledgers and extension ledgers. So standard ledger, we have seen that there is two types of in ledgers in standard ledgers. One is leading ledger, second one is non-leading ledger. Whereas in extension ledger, we'll have three types of ledgers. Sorry, two types of ledgers. One is simulation ledger, another one is predictive ledger. Okay. SAP introduced three types of extension ledger in addition to the standard ledgers. for different purpose. That means SAP, other than this standard ledger, we have extension ledgers, which will have three types of ledgers. The main use of extension ledger or extension ledger is that to minimize the data SAP in SAP, to minimize the data in SAP, extension ledger is introduced. Okay, it will create it on top of reference ledger. That means when we create extension ledger, we have to specify on which ledger we are going to create this extension ledger. That means when we post any data against the extension ledger is going to read what is the reference ledger. Okay, what is the reference ledger, and copy the data or update the data from the reference ledger onwards. Okay, reference ledger might be the standard ledger or non, that means either leading or non-leading ledger or another extension ledger. So while creating extension ledger, we are going to mention reference ledger. The reference ledger might be leading or non-leading ledger, or also we can able to create extension ledger on top of extension ledger itself. Okay, if not specified the ledger in the data entry level, then data will not posted on extension ledger, but it will post only to the standard. That means this section ledger will be used for management reporting purpose. Okay. So at the time, if you want to extract the data extension ledger level, while posting data itself, we have to enter this extension ledger. Okay. If we are not enter any extension ledger while posting the transactions, by default, system will post it to the standard ledgers. When I say standard ledgers, it will update both leading and non-leading ledgers. Extension ledger read the data or extract the data from the reference ledger only. Okay, so we are having, while creating extension ledger, we have three types of ledger types here, and the standard journal entries. Another one is line items with technical values. Line items with technical values. When we post to the extension ledger, document number will not get generated. Normally, when we post the transactions or any postings, SAP provides one document number. Okay, but in S/4HANA, when we use this extension ledger for posting purpose, document number will not get generated by the SAP. It will generate only the technical document number. Okay, which will not have any impact on our books of accounts. Okay, it will displace only with technical number. When I say technical number, it will start with S series. Okay, next. Okay, this is an example only. Yeah. So in our class practice purpose, I just given example what ledgers we are going to create. So before that, we are going to understand what is the drawback of extension ledger. Extension ledger will not be integrated with asset accounting and material ledger accounting. Extension ledger will not be maintained over fiscal year, and as it is copying from the reference ledger. Okay, extension ledger currency type always follows references ledger only. So that means when we are creating extension ledger, we are going to maintain what is the reference ledger. So when we post any transaction, system read the data from the reference ledger. That means it will adopt the fiscal year and posting periods and currency from the reference ledger only. If you want to change, we can change only the posting periods. This currencies, everything is hard coded. We can't change. Okay. So if you have a requirement to follow the different fiscal year, you first have to create non-leading ledger differently, and then according to the requirement, and then we have to create extension ledger according to their ledger. Okay, and then here examples I am following here. So extension ledger is two types, right? One is simulation ledger, another one is predictive ledger. So simulation ledger is nothing but like This simulation ledger will be used for foreign currency revaluation purpose. So in ECC, we are able to do the foreign currency revaluations only month-end purpose. That also possible only one time. Whereas in S4 HANA, we can able to run this foreign currency revaluations multiple times. But the prerequisite is the first we have to run this foreign currency revaluation at standard ledgers, and also after that, just to visualize the or to understand what is the impact on our currencies or reporting point of view while executing foreign currency revaluation report, we have to enter this simulation ledger and we need to just analyze or visualize the profit or loss what we are getting report. Visualization purpose, we have this simulation ledger. So once we post any data in simulation ledger, postings will happen on the technical number wise, and while making actual payment, whatever data is there with simulation ledger, those data will automatically delete. So always with the simulation ledger, we can simulate the data for specific ledger. Okay, that means when we are simulating, we are going to enter simulation ledger and we are going to see the data. And I said right, simulated data are deleted automatically once you run this foreign currency evaluation in productive mode. Okay, this way you can run financial statements and see the impact of currency changes anytime before actually posting them. Now we are going to see predictive ledger. Predictive ledger will be used for sales to doc actually to predict the profit that we are going to get in future or a loss that we are going to get in future. So for that purpose, we are going to use this predictive ledger. Okay, that's it for today. So we have discussed what is ledger types in S4 HANA. There are two types of ledgers in S4 HANA: standard and standard and extension ledger. So in standard ledger, we have two types: leading and non-leading. It's a terminology. In S4 HANA, we have to call it as standard ledger. In standard ledger, we have two types of ledgers: leading and non-leading. Whereas in extension ledger, we have two types of ledgers. That is simulation ledger and extension ledger. Sorry, simulation ledger and predictive ledger. Okay. You just read this recording again and again so that you will be able to understand and you will be able to explain what is ledger types here. In next class, we are going to design or configure ledger types, and then we can do the postings, and we need to see the how the data is updating the standard ledger and extension ledger. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you, friends. If you like this video, kindly give a like or thumbs up and forward this or share this video to your friends who are want to learn S4 HANA. Okay, thank you. Thank you all.